Recall is, in my opinion, the most important skill for your dog to have, because if you can't control your dog when they're off leash, they can get into really potentially dangerous situations. Thankfully, I've experimented every single day myself with Mochi right here with recall, and I figured out the top tips that helped me establish the most amazing recall with Mochi. And don't forget to stick around till the end, because the last one is the most important one. Mochi's tails. My second tip is to play Runaway. You probably noticed that every dog has a tendency to love to chase, which is why games like Fetch are so popular, and which is why so many dogs chase runners or bikes or cars, which obviously is not a great thing for some situations, but in this case, we want to capitalize on this instinct that they have to chase. With this game, as soon as you say come or whatever your recall word is, just start sprinting in the opposite direction. First, you want to make sure your dog is actually paying attention, because then it's useless if you just start sprinting away. But when you have eye contact with your dog or a little bit of tension, say your recall word and start sprinting really fast. 9 times out of 10, your dog is going to chase you. When they reach you, you can reward them because they have listened to your recall cue. I would start this game on a long leash though, because again, for the same reasons, you shouldn't be letting your dog off leash from the beginning. This was the first true game changer when I was training Mochi to listen to come. You need to have super duper delicious high value treats. For us, it was just boiled chicken, which dogs love, or even just like some turkey bacon, which we boiled to get some of the sodium off. But either way, a good way to go is meat. And the key to using these high value treats is only using them when they listen to recall. So for example, if Mochi does sit or down or paw, I'm not going to be giving him that delicious piece of chicken. He's only getting that chicken when he listens to come. And I did this every single day for months on end before his recall really clicked, and now he listens literally 99.9% of the time. And another key to these high value treats is that when you do reward them for listening to come, you want to break a single, this big of a piece of chicken into like 5 little pieces. In their mind, they're gonna think, oh, I listened to recall and I got 5 pieces of chicken. And again, by only giving your treats when they listen to come, you're differentiating the value of each command. And in your dog's brain, he's gonna think like, when I listen to come, I get this delicious meat. And that's why his recall is gonna be bulletproof. It's gonna be amazing. This tip, I feel like a lot of people do without realizing it. When you say your recall cue, do not punish them for coming. And by punishing, I mean put them on a leash. When you start practicing recall when they are off leash, for example, when you go to the dog park, you never, ever, ever want to say come or whatever your word is, and then immediately put them on a leash and leave the dog park, because then your dog is going to start thinking, oh, I listened to come, and then the fun ends. So in the beginning of training, always practice recall in like an area where you're allowed to be off leash, say come, reward, and then let them free again. Let them smell around, let them play, practice again, etc., etc. And when you're done with the training, just leash them up without a word, without spoiling your recall cue. Don't say come. And my last tip, the most important one, like I said in the beginning, when in doubt, don't say come. Once you start training recall without the leash so that you can't enforce it anymore, do not say your recall cue unless you're 95, 96 or more % sure that your dog will listen. For example, if your dog is in the middle of an amazing, exciting play date with another dog, every time your dog ignores you, every time he's enforced that he can ignore you. Going back to the example, if your dog is playing with another dog and you say come, and your dog ignores you, in his mind he's gonna start to think, oh, if I ignore mom or dad, I can just keep playing with this dog, it doesn't matter. So every single time this instance happens where your dog is able to ignore you, the weaker the command will get. So only practice your recall cue when you're almost positive that your dog will listen and come, because then you can enforce him positively with those treats and a lot of praise, and you'll continue strengthening that word. But if you keep practicing when your dog doesn't listen, it's just going to keep enforcing that bad ignoring behavior, and it will spoil the word. These are 5 of just many tips that I have gained from training Mochi so intensely for recall. So I'll probably be back with another video with more tips. Let me know down below if you're interested in more tips or if any of these tips work for you. If you have another tip that worked for your dog, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!